Episode 12. Let's go. Making the case. Let's let this room fill up, y'all. Making the case. Episode 12. LSATs. And first gen. What's going on, my sister? Oh, I messed it up. First gen. First. Can I spell? Can I get it right? There we go. First gen. All right, let's go. What's going on, cousins, family, and kinfolk? As we let the room fill up, I'm seeing so much of my family up in here. So many of my sisters and brothers-in-law. Let's go ahead and let the room fill up, you guys. I'm so excited. I don't know about you guys, but Wednesday came here fast as heck, y'all. But nevertheless, when we look at that, you guys, that means that we have so much things to do. What's going on, LaToya? What's going on? What's going on, Legally Pretty? What's going on, y'all? Superwoman, Mason. Go ahead and let this room again continue to fill up. I want you guys, of course, let you guys introduce myself formally, right? My name's Anthony. I'm the founder of Becoming JD, and our mission, our goal, of course, is to help get more brown and black folks into law school. We do that by any means necessary. We show you guys how to elevate your applications to showcase the skills that law schools are looking for, regardless of your LSAT scores and your GPAs. All right? But now that we got that out of the way, I want you guys, of course, to let us know where it is that you're viewing our session from. Of course, I'm holding it down here up in Missouri. We know that we're in the middle of homecoming weekend. I know my boys and my brothers are down there in the AUC holding it down at Morehouse. Their homecoming, of course, is this weekend along with Spelman's. But nevertheless, we hear y'all. So let me know where it is that you're viewing our session from. We got people holding it down in North Carolina. We got people in Illinois. My girl from Illinois is always holding it down. Tampa Bay, Florida. That's a blessing. Of course, I see my girl over here, the sister-in-law, holding it down. The plug lawyer holding it down in the Peach State. As we let this room fill up, I want you guys to be able to make sure that you're utilizing all these tools and resources that we have available to you. I pray that the people that are listening to this chat, you're listening to this chat because you already signed up for the free mini law school. You've already done that for the mini law school for Colorado Law. I'm going to have a post coming out tomorrow morning of someone who did the mini law program at Colorado Law and has helped open up so many doors. And so, LaToya, I know you've been riding with me from day one. Make sure that you're doing that, okay? And it could open up so many doors. Not only will you be able to get an opportunity to apply to Colorado Law School for free $99, it can open up so many other doors in regards to the relationships that you build and bond in your cohort, okay? And so make sure that you guys are doing it. On tonight's session, we're going to be talking about the LSAT. We're going to be talking about first gens. And of course, you know, you guys hear me talk about it all the time. But one of the things I love is when we're able to have somebody who's closer to you guys in your journey, who could be able to share their experiences so you guys could be able to see what they did, model what they did, and follow what they did. Okay, I see Aisha, you hold it down in Columbia. Justice Monet, she's here in the house. All right, so I want us to make sure that we're utilizing our resources, okay? Because one of the things that I was thinking about, right, so as of right now, I think we have 503 people who we've at least given the promo code to register for the mini law school class. Now, out of that 503, I want to make sure that I see 503 brown and black folks there. But I'm very nervous and concerned. So I'm hoping that we're going to do more. One of the things that my wife tells me, I now try to tell that everybody here, is don't just consume the information that you get on Instagram. Use it, y'all. Use it. It can make a difference, okay? And so make sure that you're doing more than just, oh, let me get the code, let me get this. We want you guys to apply to make moves with it, okay? All right, so tonight we have the luxury, the pleasure of having a two-wheel at Thurgood Marshall School of Law who's been in the chats, who's been motivating and encouraging a lot of aspiring lawyers. And so when I saw her dropping gems, I wanted to have her on here to drop some gems to you guys so you guys can hear her story. Her name is Jada, and I'm going to go ahead and get her on with the live. So make sure box up with questions, because we want to make sure that you come away from this session wherever you are with your journey, either being an applicant, either being a law student, either being someone that's a law grad, coming away knowing that you got the information. What's going on, sis?
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited.
I know, first things first, one of the things that's amazing, I want to tell you thank you, because I feel like, one of the things that we can always do in our life is that we can just say, hey, I got mine. I'm good.
Yeah.
Gotta go study, man. I ain't got time for this, girl. I got too much stuff to do. But when I saw you, sis, I just want to tell you thank you, because when I saw you in the comments, dropping gems, sharing knowledge, encouraging people, I was just like, man, this is a sister we got to talk to. And so I want to be able, I told you thank you for that, but I also want to give you the floor to tell your story, because there's some sisters and some brothers out here. And this LSAT is a monster. And
it's a monster. It got
a lot of victims. It got a lot of people that went ahead and went left and said, all right, I'm going to do something else. And so I wanted to give you the floor to tell your story and also to motivate some folks out there who are thinking about calling it quits.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So my journey actually started in the summer of 2017, because initially I started pursuing dental hygiene. I wanted to go to college to get something. I've always wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to go to college to do something that, I could just pay the bills. And it's like what I wanted to do necessarily didn't align with my resources. But fortunately, I had applied to this first gen program where it provided the resources and the tools that help professionally and personally develop first generation students. And at that time, I was like, you know what? They're going to pay for my school. I should pursue law. Like, why not? Because the reason I wasn't pursuing law was because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that you had to take the LSAT. And I think that that's something a lot of first generation students, if you just aren't really aware, if you just know you want to be a lawyer and you don't know all the intricacies, you get what I'm saying? You don't necessarily know that that's another obstacle that you have to tackle before you even get into law school. So for me, I learned in my junior year, I learned that you had to take the LSAT. And I thought that you could just, I thought you could just go up in there, using a bird. Yeah, like, I was like, okay, whatever. I tried with Kaplan, did a few of the questions, but I was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be how it is. Maybe I could take the test. So I took the test the first time, and I was hoping to be a traditional student, go straight from undergrad into law school. But y'all, I got a 140 on the first time I took the LSAT, and I was so defeated. I was like, okay, maybe law school isn't for me. And when you're a first generation student and you're being denied something in an area that you don't even know, anything about, you're just like, well, how can I do this? So I will say this, I did get discouraged on my journey when I didn't get to go through, I guess, as a traditional student. But I'm so blessed and thankful that I did not go, because I was not ready. I was not prepared. That was not my time. And I always try to tell people, what is for you is for you. Can't nobody take that from you, like, regardless. And God's purpose in a lot of things, like, we can't understand his reasoning, but I'm so thankful that I'm going to law school now, because I'm set up way better than what I would have been than if I went when I was first trying to take it. So my first thing that I would say to people who are trying to, or who are about to take the LSAT, is find a mentor, get with somebody who's been through the process, somebody that can just navigate you when you do run into something that you that's unfamiliar. You can reach out to them to at least put some substance behind whatever problem that you're having. The LSAT is a beast. Like, it's I think it's the hardest admissions test, and I think we're disadvantaged if you're a first generation college student, because again, nobody else done took that test. Nobody's gonna know what's going, how to really tell you what to do. So I would say get a mentor, get somebody that you can at least vent to, hey, I don't get this. Do you know anything you can provide me with? Reach out to me. I have so many LSAT practice tests, so many.
Yes.
Please reach out to me. Do not, I want y'all to know we cousins now. So if y'all need anything, if you just be like, Jada, look, I don't know what to do, I got you. But definitely use your resources. And like you were saying earlier, you said something very important. Don't just look at it. Because even when I was on my journey and I was following your page, I would see a lot of the resources you would, would post or things you would talk about, and I would just like it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's hard to go back. Yeah, it's hard to go back and follow through on those things. But I will say, take advantage of all those resources. Knowing how to utilize your resources is important as well. So practice tests, find you a mentor, drill, and also if you can utilize, if you have the resources to pay for a boot camp or a program that you can go through, I recommend that, because the knowledge that's required for the LSAT is just, you can't use your own outside understanding. So I took the time from the time that I failed with the 140 and until 3 years after I graduated law school to prepare. I ended up ultimately taking the LSAT 4 times, and I raised my score. How many points? 10 points. So I got a 150, but I got into school with a 150. I'm a splitter, so I had a high GPA and a lower LSAT score. And if you are one of those people who struggle with the LSAT, it's not the end of the world. I want you to know that it's not the end of the world. You can really bolster your application package by going to get a master's degree. Your personal statement, speaking to your situation. So there's many things to kind of mitigate that LSAT score, and it's not the most important. Just because, look, the LSAT, I think it doesn't translate to how well you will do in law school. So that's just the smallest problem. Because once you pass that, you still got law school. You still got law school, and you like the LSAT, that's nothing compared to that. So if I can offer anything, I would say get you a mentor. My mentor, like I found one of my friends who knew I was trying to go to law school. He put me in connection with Brittany King. She went to Vanderbilt, and she was like she was on me about my LSAT, and I didn't really believe in myself at the time. So although she was encouraging me and motivating me, I still didn't do well on my LSAT, and so I felt like I had disappointed her. And we kind of lost contact, and then I came back and I ended up getting that 150 and getting into law school and reconnecting with her. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting off topic. But now, to now. So I have been working while in law school, and I know that a lot of first generation college students and professionals have the question about, will I still be able to work? Because it's very difficult not to. Or to leave your life if you are a non-traditional student and just stop everything for law school. And everybody advised me against it, but I didn't listen because I need my money. I need my money. I need it.
Yeah, it's your name that's on the loan that you got to sign, so you might as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I think though my law school in itself, and I don't know if you can speak to it, but law school, the system itself was kind of troubling for me when I entered, because the way that I guess how law school is, Socratic method, the curve, you're competing. It can feel very you can feel very isolated. You can feel like, you're imposter syndrome. You like, I'm not supposed to be here. They're gonna find out I'm not supposed to be here and get me up out of here. So there's a lot of things you have to handle mentally when going into law school to prepare yourself also as a first generation college student. Get you a therapist. Get you get you a therapist. Talk to somebody, because it's very hard. I have a mentee right now, and she was kind of struggling with adjusting to law school because again, it's a culture shock. And my best advice was you got to learn how to literally just always be ready to change your move. Always be ready to do something new. Always be ready. Like, that's what being a lawyer is. You have to lawyer. Um, so yeah, but I've been working in law school, and it's very difficult. It's a lot to balance, but I think that it helps with the professional development for some students. If you haven't had a job, if you are traditional and you just coming straight out of undergrad, you gonna need that. You may need that structure, but I don't recommend working. I don't recommend working a 1L year.
No.
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 I did it. I was on the dean's list, but I had flexibility. If you don't have that, I wouldn't put your 1L grades in jeopardy.
Hold on. I just gotta jump in here. So hold on. You're telling me that you took the LSAT 4 times
Or
and you ended up on the dean's list?
absolutely.
So, and I'm saying that you guys out there because a lot of times, man, we be wearing the hell out of these LSAT scores like scarlet letters. Yeah, I had to take it again. Oh my God, that must mean I can't go. I'm not gonna be successful. Oh, I took it another time. Oh, I can't. And so I want you guys to understand, like, you're sitting here looking at someone, took it 4 times. She looked like y'all, talked like y'all, grind like y'all,
Yep.
and guess what? She's doing it, and you guys could do it too. And so one of the things I oftentimes tell people, and again, for those who have just joined us, we live with our girl Jada, who's a 2L at Thurgood Marshall School of Law doing the damn thing, you guys. And she asked you, she told y'all, she said, holler at her. You have questions, holler. She said, we cousins now, right? Because I tell all you guys out there, we're all brothers and sisters in law. And so because of that, you guys, you have a community. Because one of the things Jada said is right. A lot of times, this is very isolated. When it first start with that LSAT, you ain't running up your parents, your boos, your bays. They mean well, but you know they don't understand what's going on, and so you don't really have people to reach out to. And so next time, instead of scrolling through the gram to find that next reel, holler at somebody that goes to the school that you want to go to. Shoot them a message. Hey, I'm a first generation student. Hey, you know, I took the LSAT twice, and I see that you're at the school I want to go to. I mean, what are they going to say?
The worst I can say is no.
Or say the worst that happens, they'll say nothing at all. But let's keep it the buck, sis. That's what we do to a lot of people on Instagram anyway. So that's fine. And so we're now in a platform where now there's access to resources and people. So please, like sis said, don't just consume it. Oh, look, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, Women of Law organization. Oh, look at that. Reach out to them. That's a collection of amazing sisters who are all focused on one goal. Of course, we now know, they said it in the comments, Jada's a part of the soror and doing things with them. But this is a way for you to be able to reach out. So just don't look at the pages. Use them as an opportunity. So one of the things I want to kind of dive deep in, because I'm sure people want to be able to know, it's just like, so what were the type of drills that you did?
Okay, so I did a lot of logic games. My biggest problem was probably reading comp. But I wanted to make my strengths my strengths. So you knew that if I was doing a logic game, or I knew if I was doing a logic game, I needed to at least be getting like at least 19 out of however many we were doing. You get what I'm saying? So make sure that the things that you are good at, you not try to perfect them. I know that you can't perfect anything, but like try to be the best at that section so you don't have to worry about it and you can focus in on your problem areas. Now reading comp, and reading comp was difficult. I did not get it, but I understand now in retrospect why reading comprehension is so important. So for reading comp, you get you a magazine. I recommend The Atlantic, or just honestly read an article, a law journal article, things like that, so that you can familiarize yourself with that type of writing, and reading those dense materials. Law school, you're going to be reading a lot, so you have to get comfortable with that. And so my recommendation for reading comp is get you a subscription to like the Atlantic, or read several law articles and journals before you start before you start studying for reading comp. If you are already in your journey and you're already studying, I say just maybe trying to read an article a week, and then building up, and then hopefully that translates to reading comp. Let's see. LR.
Piggyback on what she's saying, right? Because what's going on, my man? I see you down there in Penn State. Holler at me, bro. But piggyback on what she's talking about here. Listen, man, and tell me what you believe about this. I was telling one of my clients this yesterday. When is the last time, outside of law school don't count, right, that you read something that you didn't like?
I mean,
it's been a minute,
it
right?
has, actually, yeah.
And that's why the reading comp is so hard. Think about it. We're now in a day and age where we do audiobooks, where we literally, if we're reading something, we're only reading excerpts. So now you're telling me to sit down and read a whole passage about stuff that's not even my bag, and you're able to identify what's important. I don't care about this. And so it makes it very, very hard. And of course, you know, when you was in your first year of law school, how even that was an issue, maybe in your civil procedure class, where content was dense as heck.
Yes.
Boring, not fun, not entertaining.
And don't get a case from 1865, where they talking in a whole nother language, you know, but you're building a skill that you need as a lawyer, honestly. Right. And they're analyzing, while I don't agree with the LSAT, I don't agree with tests that kind of do weed out our really communities that are disproportionately affected. But I will say the skills that they are evaluating are important and translate over into your law school learning. So if you are coming into law school and you don't have them, it's going to be very difficult for you.
Right. Right. And so, yeah, we all have our views about the LSATs, and I agree with you. It definitely, and I think one of our other kings, Nevershare, he's at Penn State Law School. He also said the same thing. He said that skill in reading comp is important. And so, you know, with things, I want to ask you about this now. Because, you know, the LSAT's about to go under the knife. They're about to make some changes.
Oh.
You know, so, you know, that good old logic games that you and I both depending on to get our score up, well, that sucker's going bye-bye.
What?
Logic games is not going to be in there next year.
Oh, no. No. What are they replacing it with?
I have a gang of people reaching out to me saying, well, you know what? They happy. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
That means you may get 2 reading comp sections. That means you may get 2 legal analyst sections.
Yeah.
And historically, those sections aren't one where you may be doing your best. So what do you think about those new changes, this new slimmer LSAT that's going to be coming down the pipeline? Legal reasons for that, right?
I mean, I think that I don't like that. I'm happy they made that change now. Because, you know, I can't say that I would be here having this conversation with you. I can't say that because logic games really does save a lot of people. It's, I think, one of the easiest sections to learn because it's kind of formulaic. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, analytical reasoning, or is it logical reasoning? I don't know. LR.
Second, another reasoning section on there instead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think that the slimmer version of the LSAT will target again those skills that a lot of law school admissions teams are looking for. But I think that it also disadvantages a lot of students because those sections are just very difficult to kind of learn and prepare for.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, so you guys in the chat, let us know what you guys think about that. I know for me, I told you guys that I'm concerned, I'm worried because I think the people that it's going to affect most are people who look like me and you. I know we may not love logic games, it may give us nightmares, but you know what? That was also the section where you were like, if I just master this MNFA, you know, you eventually figured it out because it was a formula that you had to just get through with practice. While sometimes with reading comp, it's very hard to raise those scores. And also sometimes with the legal reasoning, it's also logical reasoning. It's sometimes very challenging to raise that. But I want to get us some more questions, because one of the questions Legally Pretty Cheese asked, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, sis. She asked, well, what did you do during your gap year?
Okay. So I wanted to answer that. So this also helps with those who may need to bolster their application package. During the time that I wasn't, well, I was still pursuing law school, but I decided to get work experience. And the work experience that I had was with the federal government, which I think definitely is assisted in my application, because I was able not only to make connections with people that were in the legal department, but if you have, like, let's say if you want to be an attorney, you can go through the honors attorneys program. Many federal agencies have that, where they provide the development, the professional development for students who are in law school. You can get paid and work while you're in law school, and they'll also support you, pay for your classes, things like that. And I think that
Hold
those
up.
opportunities.
Hold up. You just dropped something.
Yeah.
Say it again
Yeah.
for everybody who didn't just pick that up, so they can, hey, y'all need to listen to what you just said. Say it again.
Yes. They will pay for your law school. Now, y'all know, y'all see the law means they be talking about the student loans and all that. One is public service. So if you work in public service for 10 years, your student loans will be forgiven. But additionally, if you work for the federal government and you are in like a legal track, and they have a program or training program where they allow for PLA funds or a CDP, a career development plan, you can get your college courses paid for through that program. So, and if any of y'all are interested in federal work or working for the federal government, please reach out to me. I have experience with that too. My goal is to ultimately work for the FDIC in banking, or tax, but as an attorney. And that kind of, I think being able to at least make the funds or the resources that they, allocate to tax lawyers, whatever, so that I can build my plan. Because I want to assist people in going to law school. I think that, we can remove some of those barriers, and what you're doing is exactly like removing those barriers that a lot of students face. We could be great. We can create a whole little coalition or something. So yeah, I was working, building that resume up.
And so one of the things that oftentimes, just let's be honest, man, this journey is emotionally, mentally, it's a mental Olympics. And I really want you, if you could take some time to speak from your heart and, tell people, like when we have those tough times. And if you're on this chat, I don't care where you are with your journey, you've been there. And I tell people, when we smile, boy, that's because we've been there. I want you to tell people, like, what did you do when things got tough? Because, I mean, this journey's hard. And there's some people out there they're on the cusp of giving up. And I want to know, like, what's some words of encouragement that you can give to them based off of some of the things you went through in your life?
Yes. So I agree. It is definitely tough. I gave up. I gave up in 2019. I took it for the second time. I got my score back. I did the flex. I got my score back, and I had studied. I thought I studied at least. I thought that my efforts would be rewarded, because I was like, okay, I've been doing this. But unfortunately, again, sometimes things just don't work out. You have you ever taken a practice test, and then after you take the practice test, you like, oh, I think I did good. Then you get the score, and you like, hold on,
Oh,
now
yeah.
that don't look right. Something not right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave up. I was like, I'm done. I went out. I was turning up. I was like, you know what? I don't need to be no lawyer. I'm just gonna do me. And God honestly sat me down and talked to me. And He was just like, no, let me put you back where you need to be, because you're going down a whole nother path you don't need to be going down. This is for you. Go for it. And so at that time, I just committed myself to doing it. And I think somebody just asked in the chat, like, do you recommend back to back? So I gave myself 6 months after I passed. I mean, after I failed, not failed, but after I didn't get the score that I wanted for, I think I took it in October of 2019. So I gave myself 6 months of just straight studying, and I started that in, I believe, June of 2020. I had just gotten on with my government agency. They were remote. This was during COVID, so I was kind of able to dedicate a lot of time to it. Yeah, trying to figure out a schedule, and this was after my mentor was giving me guidance. So it was really just on my own, and it really does take you having the discipline and just deciding to go for it. Give it all you can give it. So I took the test again, I believe in, wait, my timelines. Okay, June 2021 maybe. I started. But I took the test again in February. No, in January of 2020. I don't know. I don't know my dates, but I did take the test in January, and then I got that score back, and I was not happy with that score. So then I took it again in February. So I did take it back to back, but I ended up utilizing my February score. And Texas Southern University, I think their application stays open until June. So I was able to submit my February application, and I got my acceptance in April. Oh yeah,
And so
but
one of the things I want you guys to understand is, so it's like oftentimes, and I felt like a lot of times what happens is we have to be able to have time to assess and evaluate what we did different, what we did wrong.
yeah,
That ego take over, be like, man, sign up for the test, the next test. Do you know what you did wrong? Nah, I don't know.
nope, yeah, you just going back in, yeah.
Right, and so like, take us through that process for you, because I think a lot of times when we retake it, was your studying different, the second time or the third time or the fourth time to get things where you needed to go? Because I think a lot of times people just, let's keep it a buck, sis. After the first time you open that book and take the test, you ain't never opening that book the same way.
Yeah.
And so what was your study regimen like when you were preparing for, when you were balancing working remotely and COVID at the same time?
So honestly, because I can't say it over live, but honestly, because we were, yeah, but honestly, because it was COVID, I had just gotten hired on in like 2020, so I did take my time kind of while I was training to read over my book, do logic games. Like if I had a break, I would do a logic game, and I utilized LSAT Max at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I used Power Score. I did Kaplan. I even got a tutor. The last time after I tried self study the first time I took the test, that didn't work because I was still going and I was still in school, and it's very hard while you're still in school to study for the LSAT. Yeah. And a lot of people, people who are not Black, they get tutors or they've been preparing for this. They already know. Their parents probably already know what they need to provide their children with. So trying to study while in college was very difficult. So that didn't work. Then I purchased LSAT Max. And after I purchased LSAT Max, that kind of helped. My score would raise, but I wasn't taking the test in test-like situations,
Say that again, because a lot of people out there, they be hella comfortable, got on their sweats, got their footies on, chilling with the LSAT book, looking all pretty and manicured. Nah, it don't work like that. Tell them what that real study is supposed to look like.
Yeah, you have to. And I would be taking my test. I would pause it. I would go talk to my friend. You can't do that. You have to take that test. And I know it's hard because you have to sit down for 3 hours after you done already probably been reading a book or been studying the whole week. You have to sit down and take the test. No, with the little break that they do give you. So after that, I got my mentor. My mentor was helping me out, and then I hired a tutor who would meet with me. I had to pay out of pocket, but again, that's why I said being a traditional student, I wouldn't be able to have the resources to pay for the program to do that. And I know a lot of people are like, you want to go straight from college because you want to put an age or you want to put an age to your goal. Mm-mm. I felt so disappointed. Disappointed in myself because I didn't go from undergrad, but I'm so happy that I didn't. Like that was the best thing that could have happened for me, because now the opportunities and the things that I can do now as a non-traditional student, or the discipline that I just have from having real world experience working and things, that helps you also in law school. So
And it also helps you appreciate it more. I
yes.
think oftentimes, don't get me wrong, to those people who are able to go the traditional route, more power to you, all the flowers and everything else. But for those who were not able to go the traditional route, realize that in that process, you also go through a lot of growth and transformation. In that process, also, you're able to really get to a point where you're really beginning to learn yourself. One of the things that I'm sure that you can attest to now with some of your experiences is what the LSAT teaches you, and also, you guys, what law school teaches you is really what you're doing is you're learning about your damn self, right? Like, real
Yes.
talk, like,
Yes.
however you study all your life is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You want this result? Okay. How that you're gonna have to make some changes.
Yep.
You don't want to make that change, you're gonna take another test. You don't want to make that change again, you're gonna take another test. So it's all about you learning about yourself. And one of the things that's amazing, and I'm sure you can speak to, is when we get that aha moment in our second year or near the end of our first year, it's like, oh shit,
Yes.
I know how to do this, mother.
Yes.
I can do this.
Yes.
But getting there is all about you becoming self-aware. That's sometimes what I hope what this LSAT is teaching you guys out there is the importance. Okay, I can't do it like that to get the right answer. And hey, you know what? I may have got the right answer, but so that self-awareness is what's constantly being taught.
Yeah.
And tell us about that aha moment for you when you got when it's like, oh damn.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so no, I know exactly what you're talking about. So that happened for me my 1L semester after we finished. We take comprehensive exams, so we have 2 weeks of just the testing over the complete subject. But after I finished that last one, I was like, so that's what this was all about. So that's how you got to do it. And our second semester, we added one more class, so it was different, balancing that additional class. So that was the different thing. And so after my second semester, my 1L year, I was like, oh, I know how to do this now. I know how to do this. It's really just about learning how you learn the law,
Exactly.
learning how you learn the law, and then balancing all the other things that come. You got to learn how to study the law, how to read the law. You got to, so all those things come with it. And my mentee is here, and she will tell you. I tell her all the time, I'm like, you are just learning how to learn the law. Give yourself grace. Your first semester, give yourself grace, all of the grace. Because like you said, you learning yourself. You learning the things, like what you need, how you going to learn a subject, and everything is subjective. For me, like for property, I have to study property completely different than how I study Civ Pro. I have to study contracts completely different from how I had to study torts. So you just have to learn how to law school. It's really like a game, and it's fun. It's so fun.
And the thing about it is, it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, the thing that happens is that you having to accept what you have to do to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think maybe your first, even because it kind of starts in with the LSATs, you guys, you kind of go through those growing pains. Damn, I don't want to have to change. Damn, I want to do it my way. It's not working. Damn, damn, damn.
Yeah.
And like, I'm tired. I'm tired of staying up all night reading. And then it's just like, well, damn, if you want this, this what you got to do. Yeah. And it just becomes a part of your everyday. You become programmed, Nicole. And it's going to be to a point where you're literally going to be like, well, 6 o'clock, I'm going to need about 3.5 hours to read, so I got to go.
Yeah.
It's just what happens. It's about you accepting this is the pathway of what I want. This was going to be.
And a lot of people are not going to understand that because, my friends, I'll be like, I got to study, y'all. I can't go out. And it was like, some people would take it personally. Some people would understand it. But also, you gotta set those boundaries. This is your career. This is your life. This is your dream. And if you want it, you gonna do whatever you have to do, and let whoever you gotta know that. Look, this is my time. And I feel like the people who will respect that are the people you need to keep in your life, because you want those people that respect your boundaries and who encourage your growth. Because it's for you being better.
Absolutely. I mean, because I was about to do a post, and you tell me what you think about this. It said the biggest the biggest mistake that you guys can make is closing your eyes and opening them up a year from now and being in the same place.
Mm.
And I was just like, man, that hit home. And so we got a comment here. Carmen wanted to ask, should you prioritize getting in that early application or wait until you have that score like you did, sis, in order to apply? What do you think they should do?
Oh, that's a good question. I say put the early application. They are going to be way more eager to accept you if you put it in earlier and they still have a lot of acceptances, to work with. Whereas if you trying to wait it out, see how you do, and then you don't do so well, and you put your application in and they done already kind of gave out acceptances and maybe scholarship money. And I know somebody else asked earlier if I got a scholarship, and I did, even with a lower LSAT score. So you can, it's the opportunities are available, and there's so many scholarship opportunities. I see you posting them all the time. So you can get an academic scholarship and then also get a whole nother scholarship, have your law school pay for it. Because we're not trying to do this and pay back no student loans. We want to go to law school for free.
We want
right?
to tell she got the wrong number.
Yeah. We're not hearing what she's talking about. So we're trying to get our law school paid for. But yeah, I would say put that application. If you can put that application in and your score is, you're comfortable with your score, at least do that. And then you can also let them know if you don't want to submit your score, you can also let them know that you're taking the test in the future, and they will report the score once you complete or once you take the LSAT. So
now check what Jada just said here, you guys. For a lot of us, a lot of times, let's be honest, man, we be kind of scared. We be acting hella scared to call these schools, thinking that if we say something, that's going to make them say, denied. How dare they call me? Denied. No, it don't work like that, y'all. You want to be able to have transparency with these schools, okay? And calling one school don't mean, I call Thurgood Marshall School of Law, that don't mean that FAMU is going to say the same thing as Southern and Southwestern in LA. You have to contact these schools. Don't be scared. These people ain't going to hurt you. And if, in fact, they're going to reject you for asking a question, you want to go to that damn school anyway. And so what you want to do is, like what she just said, Carmen, is you want to be able to communicate with them. Tell them, hey, I'll submit my application early, but I am taking the LSAT again. And, what do you want me to do? Y'all want to hold my exam, hold my app, or do y'all want me to go ahead and submit it? Simple conversation, you guys. Don't be scared, man. Because guess what? Them holding the app, good. But the thing is, one of the things that Jada said, the thing that, Jada was very fortunate. She killed that LSAT the time that she needed it. And so you don't want to put all your eggs in that basket because she still had other scores that she could have used. And so you want to get in early, like Jada said, and communicate. You guys are going to be lawyers, so don't act scared. We open up our damn mouths all the time anyway. Go ahead, Sue.
I was gonna say you got to learn how to advocate for yourself, because law school, that's the difference too. Everybody grown in law school. It's professional. It's just like it's a job. You should treat it like a job. But you got to learn how to advocate for yourself, and you got to be you got to plead your case, and that's exactly why it's important to have a very great application package. Why should they choose you? You got to lay it all out there and try to demonstrate your strengths. Maybe you don't have a good LSAT score, but you have a great undergrad GPA. Speak to that. You have experience volunteering. You have a lot of service that you do. Speak to that. Or speak to how, I don't know. Your application package should just present you in the best way you can with the situation or the circumstances that you have. And because you don't have the best LSAT score, you don't have the best GPA, that is not dispositive on whether or not you will get into law school. You can still get into law school with a low GPA, a low LSAT score. And that's somebody with a 150.
Okay. And the thing that's piggybacking, and again, to those late arrivals, this queen we have right here, Miss Jada, second-year law student at Thurgood Marshall School of Law, doing the damn thing, balancing work and she's the first gen, setting a new tone in her family, and she wants you guys to be able to follow suit. Listen, man, you can talk to her, reach out to her, don't act shy, throw some questions in the chat. Nikita, you know I'm gonna call you out, sis, like I always do. Make sure you throw some words in the chats as well. And so one of the questions I actually want to also dive into you is, it's like, when we talk about finding law schools, that's overwhelming too,
Yeah.
right? You know, we got like, I didn't realize it's just, there's 197 law schools.
I did not. I really thought the number was way smaller than that.
And the thing about it is, for most people, we can't name about 50.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I really thought it was only 50
right.
in America.
We can name the HBCUs, we can name the Ivy Leagues, and we could kind of guess the state schools based off of football and sports teams, right? There's so many other schools in between. So I want you to tell me about, like, what was your process when trying to find and select schools? Because when you, of course, applied to Thurgood Marshall late in June, I'm sure you were like hella tempted. Well, let me go ahead, holler at Southern too.
Yeah.
App is all the way down in June. And let me holler at FAMU. They app is all the way in July too. So how did you go about picking schools? Because I think that's also one of the problems that people are having. They don't know schools. They don't know how to pick them. They don't know how to apply them. And if we're not applying to schools who will accept us, then we on that reapplication tour. We don't want that though.
Yes. And there is a tool. I need to find the name, but it's like an LSAT. You can like put your scores in, and it'll tell you like basically your chances of being accepted. So I did that a lot, but I also wanted to stay in Texas. I had, long story long, I had bought a house, and my mentor, she was like, "Don't do that. You finna go to law school. Don't do that. Why did you do that?" But I don't listen. That I wasn't listening then. But I was like, I want to stay in Texas, and I applied to all the Texas schools, and didn't get in none of them except for Thurgood. And that was kind of like my reaffirmation that I was supposed to go to that school, because originally I wanted to move to Houston when I was trying to go straight from undergrad to go to U of H. But that didn't work out. But at that time I was like, okay, it's a law school. I got accepted. You want to go to law school. If you want to transfer, you can transfer. And some people do that. So I was really concerned with the name worthiness or, things like that. But I think that I'm very happy with my choice. I love Thurgood so much. Just the culture, the people, and I think they really do build really good lawyers.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess my process was all Texas schools. I wish that I did not kind of restrict myself to that, because like you said, there's so many more, and a lot of these schools be waiting to give money out, like especially if you're a Black student, because it's if you're not go to an HBCU, you really not gonna see a lot of yourself. Like, you're not gonna see just your people in the class, but a lot of them are wanting, Black people at their school. They need that diversity. So I would say definitely expand your search. Don't limit yourself in your school search. Apply if you can, and get fee waivers. Like, don't be paying. Call the school. Talk to them.
Hey, y'all hear that right? She said, don't swipe that card. Call. Don't act scared. And I think in one of my posts, I literally give them a template for them to use to request fee waivers to law schools.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Take advantage.
Use that template. All you copy, paste, change the school name, and there you go.
Yeah.
And what you're going to find out is at law schools, okay, cool. Apply. Shoot. Go right ahead. What you need. Okay. And so, this is going to open doors. But also, sis, let's kind of unwrap this, right? And so when you apply, because you took your LSAT late too, right? And so what you guys need to understand from that is, it's like, that means that when we, like her experience was when we applied later, there's fewer seats available, right? And so because of that, that means it's not as many opportunities. And so thank God for Thurgood Marshall, because Thurgood Marshall, I'm sure once you got there, you got that community, boy, that alumni network down in Thurgood.
My. In Houston, you just gotta say Thurgood. Somebody you throw a rock, you gonna hit a Thurgood alum.
Y'all deep down there.
Yeah, we really do.
and y'all deep in Dallas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I love, that's why I love the Thurgood Marshall's, the women's organization that they have there, because y'all like your own sorority down there, like for real, like, all right, I understand undergrad, but nah, y'all roll deep.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
the things I'm talking about, you guys, these are the type of communities that you want to be a part of. This is not about, that's why I tell people, bump a tier, bump all that mess. You want to look at your alumni network. You want to look at the relationship. You want to be able to look to see when you go and talk to someone, when you go reach out to their BOSA organization or their LOSA organization, you want to see what type of reception that you get. Because that's going to be able to tell you when you get there, when you have to pay money or borrow money to go there, is this going to be a place for you? And so what type of vibes did you get when you was like, oh, yeah, this me right here. This, yeah, you know.
Let me tell y'all this, because I'm shy. I'm a very shy person. If a lot of people would think that that's crazy, because once I'm comfortable with you, I'm not shy at all. But going into law school, you can't have that demeanor. You gotta pray for confidence, because you gotta network. You can't go through law school by yourself. You're not gonna be able to go through law school just every day. I just show up, I be in class, I don't talk to nobody, I don't do nothing. Because your classmates kind of have to help you with your learning. When you're talking about a case, what did y'all think that was? Y'all seen that in the case? What did you think it was? What you got to have those collaborative conversations, and there's going to be so many networking opportunities. And a lot of the times, the job that you get is not going to be because you applied or you did that. It's going to be because you knew somebody who put you. You know what I mean? So it's so important to network. And the thing about Thurgood that I love was that there were so many people who were willing to help me. And even now, with me working and going to law school, it's everybody know, like, you doing my first year, you doing a lot, because you got your first year classes, and many first year courses, they already plan your schedule.
Yeah.
And I think somebody asked in the chat, does Thurgood do a part-time program? They do not, unfortunately. And that's the accessibility that I speak to about law school in general, because it's really not that accessible for people from diverse backgrounds who have, lives really outside of law school. So the thing about Thurgood that I liked was that Thurgood family, that connection that you have with people are so willing to help you. You can get a internship very easily, just because you networked, so it's important.
And one of the things I also want to say, you guys, is listen, man, you do not have to guess about if this is going to be a good vibe or not. Like, you can literally go visit these schools. And again, I'm all about trying to give you guys some deals on getting those things for free 99. A lot of these schools, Jada, and I'm sure you can attest, they'll pay for you to go visit. In fact, I know some folks that went to Thurgood to visit. Thurgood paid for their gas, paid for their plane ticket, paid for their hotel. Yeah, HBCU law school. Like,
What? I should have took a minute.
I want you guys to understand that where there are barriers, there are opportunities for us to be able to overcome those barriers. I don't want you guys to go to a school without visiting a school. They'll pay for you to visit the school. I had some students, check this out, Jada, had some students go visit Hawaii Law School because they were interested in going to Hawaii Law School. You got quotes, right?
Is that available for students who are currently in law school? Because I come do a tour.
Currently, right?
Right, I come do a tour.
And so I want you guys to be able to understand that these are resources that all you have to do is ask. So don't consume it. Literally go to your website. Go to your law school website tonight. Go where it says set up a visit tour. Call them on the phone. Hey, I want to visit, but finances is tight, and it is tight unless money grow on trees, y'all. Am I right? Mm-hmm. And ask them, do you guys have a process for people for reimbursement? All right, because I know when me and my wife at the time, we were visiting Louisiana, we were visiting Wisconsin, but because this is an investment, you guys, and you want to make sure that you're making an investment in a school that's going to be a good fit for you. And you're not going to find that fit by looking at the saying, is there tier 1, tier 3? Where are they at in the U.S. news? Right? Yeah. That ain't going to be the fit. Yeah. And I'm sure we all can attest to that from our friends who may go to the so-called tier this school, who oftentimes be like, or on your campus, you be like, what the hell you doing here?
Yeah, and you can, and I, the tears matter, the tears matter, but you can keep up. You can keep up with a tier or tier one. You know, even if you go to a tier 12 school, y'all learning the same thing essentially. The resources may just be different.
And Jada will definitely tell you some things offline, not live, if you guys caught that. But listen, you guys, we family here, man. And at the end of the day, what I want you guys to see is the comfort and that we have here. We created a community for you guys to be able to reach out to. And I'm just so happy to welcome to Jada to the family. She says she y'all cousins now. So
I'm here. I'm here.
reach out
Connected.
to her. Don't be acting scared. She dropped some serious gems about working for the federal government and for you to be able to find ways to get your law school paid. So listen, man, don't just sit here and say, oh, I looked at the live. Take the live and make some moves and make it happen. Because we're rooted for you. We know this journey could be very solo. It can be. But listen, man, it's only going to be only by yourself if you refuse to reach out to us. Because we want you to win. Jada's taking time out of study, because I know you study right now, to help you guys win. And so, Jada, sis, thank you so much. You guys,
Thank you. It was so nice talking to you.
Guys so much joining us. I'll let you say the final word before we get out of here.
Okay, I just want to say, please reach out to me if you need anything. Y'all got this. And go be great, honestly. Like, go be great. And don't just hear about the resources. Take advantage. If you don't know how to utilize the resources to maximize your opportunity, reach out to somebody. If you run into a block, just step outside of it. Call one of us or call somebody you know, and we got you. We're going to help you get around it. So,
all right,
yeah.
So peace and blessings, you guys. Keep fighting, keep grinding. We grind and we believe in you. You're not alone. Take care. Be blessed, you guys. Take care. Thank you, Jada.
Yeah.